I feel. Right now, I kind of feel somewhat awful and terrible because I masturbated this morning and I've been trying to overcome my lust, overcome porn addiction, and it still just frustrates me, upsets me that I gave in this morning. And I'm also upset that I'm not exercising and not, doing cardio or push-ups, and I, just bought a pull-up bar, a couple weeks ago, or almost 2 weeks ago. And I've only used it like twice. And it's bothered me that don't have much of a drive to be physically active and physically exercise. Now I do have a drive for it, but it's just like I feel like being more lazy, and I feel like I get into laziness more when the thought comes up, hey, why not exercise? I'm free, I'm bored or whatever, I can do it right now. I'm just let me get on YouTube, or it's just I just distract myself, or I just say, why bother? And just like, I don't have to do that. I don't make it as mandatory, or make it prioritize doing it. And it's just like an optional thing if I want to do it, or if I feel like doing it. And it's like I feel like being lazy a lot, and I admit that I need to stop being as lazy as much as I am, and work on being more disciplined and more productive. And making a YouTube video every single day is productive, and me creating art and me boosting my creativity and exercising my creativity, and I'm doing something. I'm doing creating art, and it's not laziness. But I still don't need to be lazy in other areas of my life, like work. At moments I feel like slacking at work, like being on my phone, or maybe taking a break. There are days I take a break, and there are days I don't take a break, and there's days that I might be on my phone a lot, and I shouldn't do that. I should be focused on the work and getting the job done, and I shouldn't be slacking at my job. So in other areas of my life, I don't need to be lazy. I don't want to be given into laziness. Now I do understand a rest day and relaxing, and taking the edge off at the end of the day after doing more hard work, after I've done everything I need to do and all my chores. And I can allow myself to just lay down. I can allow myself to smoke weed, drink wine, or watch some TV, or read a book, or just relax and listen to music and just be lazy, because I've done everything I need to do. And so in other areas of my life, I need to work on being less lazy, because it bothers me being lazy, and I don't like being lazy. I like being lazy, but not all the time and every single day, or not every day, all day. I'd rather push it to the end of the day after I've done all my hard work. So it's more of a reward. And I even talk about the reverse psychology of marijuana and smoking weed, because smoking weed can make me lazy and feel lazy. So, and then on my off days, sometimes I wake and bake, just to be honest. But I find that if I push smoking weed, especially on my work days, I don't smoke in the morning on my work days, but if I push smoking weed to the end of the day, like a work day, it's more of a reward. And I do it after I make my YouTube video, after I go to work. And it's a reward, because if it does make me feel lazy, I've already done what I wanted to do, like go to work and make my YouTube video. And so if I smoke weed and it makes me feel lazy, I just listen to music and maybe eat some dinner and just chill and lay in my bed. That's fine, because it's my reward for after doing all the hard work that I needed to do. And so, but I'm saying though, there are other things that I feel like doing, like exercising, or I need to feel more like doing, like exercising and being physically exercising. And I feel like, also getting magic mushrooms, which with this check, I'm going to get the equipment to grow some magic mushrooms. And I'm going to work on trying to get them and grow them and produce them and give them to the people who want them for free. For the first time, I'm going to give, if someone, mentions that they love them, and, they want the extra help and the extra love, and they're open to trying them, I would give it to them, actually a decent amount for free. And I would tell them, hey, ease into it, only take a small amount, be in a comfortable environment, make sure it's good vibes, have, some good music playing, And just make sure you're comfortable. And if you want to get around people, be around people that you trust, that you feel comfortable with, that spreads good vibes, that makes you feel cozy. Cozy, comfortable environment. And so that's what I would recommend. And I'm gonna try my best to get them because it's part of my job, and I love magic mushrooms. And I love my soulmate too. And I would love to be with my soulmate and talk to her, but I have to wait until she's ready to talk to me, until she's ready to see me again. And whenever that is whenever she feels like it is. And so I just have to wait on her and wait on God. And so my main goal now is to get magic mushrooms, but also to make female friends. I'm opening myself up. I'm trying to open myself up more to be friends with females, because I do believe it. I know to be true. I feel to be true that men and women can be friends. And I get that. I love having a soulmate and wanting to be with my soulmate, but there are other relationships I could have with women besides a soulmate relationship, and it could be just friendship, platonic. I think that's the word. And it don't have to be romantic, and it don't have to be sexual. And if there is any feelings that get involved, we could just communicate about it because we're honest with each other and we have a strong, solid friendship, relationship. And we're communicating about our feelings, but we're not acting on it. We wouldn't be trying to take the relationship to the next level, like romantically, or friends with benefits, like sexual, which I don't plan on doing that with any other woman besides my soulmate. My soulmate is the only one I want to be romantic with, the only one I want to be sexual with, and I have no desire to do that with any other woman. Now, I've tried to do that with other women, and it didn't feel right, and it felt like fake, it felt like pretend. And so I don't want to try to do that with another woman. And if I do kind of get those feelings with another woman, I'll just communicate and talk about it and be like, hey, I am in love with someone else, but I do have these kind of feelings for you, whether they're sexual or romantic, and I just kind of want to talk about it, and we could just talk it out because we're friends and we can talk to each other and we communicate, which is the most important part of a relationship. That's what they say. And so I feel like I need to make more female friends, and I feel like I need to go after and get some magic mushrooms and grow them and provide a service for people and provide magic mushrooms for free the first time. I'll give them a decent amount, and then if they want more, I can sell it to them, which I don't really fully agree with selling them for money because I see them as free and nature produces them. It's God's creation, but I don't know. I think I'll just do the first time free, and even if I do sell it to them, it would be so cheap. I wouldn't even be trying to tax them or scam them or whatever you want to call it. But I think I would just give them for free because that seems like the right thing to do, and money is the root of all evil, and it seems to be, and that is a good thing to do, to give a natural, healing, loving medicine to someone for free. It is a very loving, very good thing to do. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't sell for money. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I'm gonna get some magic mushrooms. I'm definitely gonna give it to Brianna for free, and I'm gonna buy her a supplement this Friday, a mushroom supplement, because I feel terrible for what I did to her. Which, to remind you guys what I did, I gave her pretty sure I gave her herpes. And she might have given it to her son, and her son might be bullied in the future and made fun of, and he might not be able to have his first kiss with a woman, and he might be traumatized from having herpes. And I just see them as pimples, to be honest with myself, but I could get that kids can still bully and tease and traumatize and cause psychological damage to each other, because I've been a personal victim of bullying, and I understand the long-term consequences and the repercussions of childhood trauma from bullying, and how that spills over into adulthood, and trying to be an adult, and it can make it harder, carrying all that weight, which Jesus has helped me heal from that, and I'm very thankful and I love him. And I feel terrible because I was there being bullied, not thinking I was gonna have my first kids, being disgusted by women, and not thinking I was ever gonna have my first girlfriend. And I didn't have my first girlfriend until I was 21. And so the fact that I potentially caused that on someone else to experience the same thing I did, I do not like. And I try not to think about it, but I almost think about it every day. And think about her, and think about what I did, and regret, and shame, and guilt, and all those uncomfortable emotions. And so I'm gonna try my best to make up for what I did by giving her emotional supplement, by sharing all the knowledge that I know will help her and I feel like will help her, and just try my best to make up for it and help her, and to offer the best advice and the best knowledge and the best wisdom I can. And I'm gonna give her the mushroom supplement for free, and then when I grow magic mushrooms, I'll give that to her for free, and a decent amount of it too, so she can feel better and feel love and feel healing like I do. I feel terrible for what I did to her, but I'm gonna make up for it, and I'm gonna try to make it better. So yeah, I feel terrible that for what I did to her. I feel terrible, waiting on Katie and not knowing when I'll be able to see her again or talk to her again. I feel terrible that I have not fully controlled my lust addiction and porn addiction, and I feel terrible that I don't have magic mushrooms right now. I'm going to get them as part of my drive, and I'm gonna go after them. And when I do eat them again, it's gonna be an incredible, loving, awesome, fantastic experience and feeling and love. And I'm gonna be very happy when I eat them again. And so yeah, I feel terrible I don't have them right now, but I know I will get them. I feel like I will get them again, and I will eat them again. And I'm looking forward to that, excited about that. But yeah, I feel terrible that I'm not exercising as much as I should be, and I need to exercise more. And I do walk a lot, which is exercising, but I want to do push-ups, I want to do running and cardio. I want to do more pull-ups with the pull-up bar that I bought, and I just want to physically exercise more. Now, I admit that when I was microdosing magic mushrooms and taking magic mushrooms a lot, that I had more of a drive to physically exercise. And I was building muscle and going to the gym and doing home workouts and doing cardio, running my neighborhood, and I was exercising. And I feel like, and I know to be true too, that magic mushrooms helps me exercise and helps me get stronger and helps me have more of a drive and motivation to exercise and to physically move and to build physical muscle. So they help me a lot. They help me build more creativity, boost my creativity. They help me solve my problems. They help me see my problems through a new lens. They help me see myself through a new lens. They help me create art. They help me appreciate beauty. They help me be present. They help me appreciate nature. They help me a lot. And physically exercising, I feel like, is another thing that they help me a lot with. I feel more in tune with my body. So, keep a proper form and proper posture. And I feel they help me fully stretch out my muscles and help me get more comfortable with my muscles and bending and moving my body. And I feel one day I had took magic mushrooms and I was walking the railroad, and on the side of the railroad there were some rocks. And I remember on the magic mushrooms, I felt I wanted to rest, I wanted to lay down. And I couldn't lay down on the rocks. I was like, I can lay down on some rocks. So I stretched out my muscles and relaxed my muscles. And I got comfortable, and I let my muscles get comfortable. And I laid down on the rocks, and I got comfortable laying down on the rocks. And magic mushrooms helped me do that. So fully stretching out my muscles, being fully comfortable with my muscles, and relaxing my muscles. Magic mushrooms helps me a lot. And to be fully in tune with my body. I feel like magic mushrooms helps me a lot with that too. And so yeah, those are all of why I feel terrible. Like I said, what I did to Brianna, her son, me not having magic mushrooms right now, me waiting on Katie, my soulmate, me not physically exercising every day. And it's pretty much why I feel terrible. And even me not fully overcoming my porn addiction and lust addiction, which I know I will, and I feel like I will, and I feel like I will be fully free from it, but I am getting further and further away from it because it's becoming only maybe once or twice a week, which I'm happy about, and sometimes I can go multiple weeks and maybe months without doing it. And so I know slowly but surely I am ripping this porn addiction and lust addiction from myself and from my identity and who I am. And with patience, I know and I feel I will be free from it. And with God's help, I will be free from it. And yeah, those are all the things that are bothering me and making me feel terrible. But I know I will get those things taken care of. I know it will work out. I know everything will be okay. And I'll make up for what I've done. And I'll make the situation better. And I'm gonna try my best to live the happiest life I can and the most fulfilling, best life I can.